What's up guys, I'm Chris and today you're watching a magic review on Everyday ESP by Dadswell. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. If you haven't, please consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up. Any questions or comments, just put them in the comment section below. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss a video or a review. I also highly recommend checking out auctiontricks.com for any products you might be looking for, as they have some great deals and products that may be hard to find. Also, don't forget to join the Chris Edwards Magic Secret Access group over on Facebook. Alright, so today we are looking at Everyday ESP by Dadswell. So what is this? This is a modern set of ESP cards. So not your traditional circle, plus, wavy lines, square, and star. These are more modern symbols. So what do you get? First off, the packaging, and then inside you are going to get a number of cards. I'm going to remove a few of these here. Talk about those in a second. But basically, you're going to get 8 white cards and 8 black cards. Now the black cards and the white cards are the same symbols, they're just inverted. You are also going to get a little pouch to carry them in. And we'll get more into this in a second. And then a couple of these rubber bands. Those are just in case you want to carry the cards without the case. You can throw the little rubber band on them and you're ready to go. Now if you're only using 8 cards, you can also carry them in this. But there is a little secret to this as well. This can be incorporated in a number of routines to help you get a peek. But I'm not gonna say much more than that. So nice little addition that Adam's included here. So that's everything you get. Now let's talk about the cards. What's the quality? So these are printed on a cardstock. Now the cardstock is high quality. They look... I'll go through all the cards here. Alright, I think I probably just cut the video there because I just separated the blacks from the whites. So we're just going to go through them. You have a pen, you have a cat, a tree, a house, a car, an egg, a hammer, and a sun. Now, these are marked. The backs look like this. Now, very simple markings, but extremely easy to read and can be seen from a distance. So even at a glance, you're going to know exactly what the image is on the other side. These can also be used in another way so that you know exactly what card the participant has landed on without even looking at the markings, without even looking at the card sometimes. So very good design, and the images play a part in how a lot of the routines work, whether you're using the markings or not. Now you will get an additional 4 cards. You are going to get a card like this. This has all the symbols on them. This is used in a number of routines. You can also use this as a crib card. So I might refer to it as that in the review. Then you have a double backer. You have a duplicate cat card. And you have a moon, which isn't actually one of the symbols, but it does play a part in a number of routines. So normally I'd talk about the tutorial here. We're going to go to that in a moment because that is the biggest part of this project. So we'll go over difficulty when it comes to the markings and when it comes to the other ways to know which card your participants thinking of. It's all extremely easy to use. If you're using the markings, there's no memory work. If you aren't using the markings, there is, but Adam gives a quick mnemonic system where you will have these cards memorized in a matter of minutes. So it doesn't take much. And once you've commit them to memory, you're not going to forget them. Angles. The only time angles will play any part in this is if you were using this here. And it really, it's not restricted by angles. You just, think of peak wallets and things like that, or billet peaks. Setup and reset, it all depends on what routine you're planning to do with these. There may be a setup or there may not. It's very easy just to kind of jazz with these, so you don't have to have any kind of setup, but it's up to you what you want to perform. Examination and pocket space, I would say these can be examined. They all look the same, like the backs, right? Your participant isn't going to figure out the marking system. It's very well hidden, but when you know what to look for, very easy to read. And as far as pocket space goes, even if you're using the full deck, it all fits in here. So, it's not maybe half the thickness of a deck of cards. I wouldn't even say it's that, but yeah, good on pocket space. All right, let's get to the tutorial, because that is really the meat of this entire project. Now, there are 15 routines that we're going to go over here, and a lot of those routines were presented by contributing mentalists and magicians. So there's a lot to unpack here. So I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as possible so we're not running a 30-minute review here, but I do want to kind of go over things because I think there is a lot of good stuff here. Okay, so first off, what I'm going to say here is Adam sent me this a while ago, and I do have to apologize that I'm a little bit late in reviewing it. Now, this plays into the tutorial section because 1, it's huge, and 2, my phone had a heck of a time loading the web page. It just kept crashing. So after a number of attempts, I would get it working here and there. Now, I'm the only person who has experienced this problem, so don't think that the website doesn't work or that there's issues with it. Hundreds of people, if not more, have had access to this project through purchasing it, and I'm the only one who's had any issues. So with that said, I apologize for getting this out so late, but I've been trying my best. All right, so the first video is an introduction. Adam kind of goes over what this is, how to use it, a little bit of the history on it, the marking system, and then other ways that you can utilize these cards if you're using the markings or not. Now, there is a numeric system to it that should be memorized. Like I said, it takes minutes, if that. Just like ESP cards 1 through 5, these cards have a numeric value to them, 1 through 8, and it's super easy to remember. So I'm trying to think of a way where I can talk about how you can use these cards other than the markings, but I don't want to say the word for the exposure, but the word rhymes with knack, so you can use them in that sense and still achieve a lot without the markings. So yeah, the first video, the intro video, covers a lot, explains how the cards work and everything like that. The second video is on the peak pouch, which is this guy here. Talks about how to use it and some of the things you can do with it. And then there's a quick video called supporting notes. So under a lot of the videos for different routines, there is a little plus symbol. And if you click on that, it drops down and there's some supporting notes, which is just additional information and ideas that can accompany each routine. So that video is pretty quick, and then we get into the routines. So the first routine is called C-Wave. Now this is a play on the classic B-Wave or B-Wave, however you want to pronounce it, plot by Max Maven. This essentially starts the same. It uses 4 cards. They name one of the 4 cards. That card is the only card that's turned over in a 4-card stack, but it doesn't end there. There's 2 kickers to this. When you turn the 1 card over, you can prove that you had predicted they would select that card, because while the other 3 cards are the white cards, that card is the only black card in the stack. And then on top of that, you say, I knew you were going to arrive on that card because the other 3 images spell out the name of that card. So Adam has taken the classic B-Wave effect and elevated it twice. So I love this one. The next routine is also by Adam. It's called Turn Up for Harry. This is a take on the classic do as I do type of trick, but this is all done sight unseen. So it's either done underneath the table or behind the back. The cards that are selected by both the performer and the participant match. Next, we have a routine by Adam called Complex Mind Reading, where a card is selected and then the participant takes that card, shuffles it into the deck, and then with the participant just thinking of the card, Adam's able to look through the deck, take out the only card that they're thinking of. Now, this is powerful because they've inserted that card into a shuffled deck and then shuffled it again, right? So you never do handle the cards after they've selected one, and you never do peek at the cards in any way, yet you know exactly the card that they're thinking of every time. The next routine is called TTTCBE by Mark Paul, and that is a take on the card trick that can't be explained by Di Vernon using ESP cards. So a participant shuffles 2 separate packs, and after a series of mixing the cards up, top cards are turned over and they both match impossibly. Next is a routine called The Old Chest by Nicholas Mavricis. In this one, you have a little piece of paper that you open up and you read them like a paragraph. It's a short story, I guess, but it's a short paragraph. After reading that, you give the cards to your participant. They shuffle and mix them up and then spread them face up on the table. Once they're done, you reread the story and show that in the story, each symbol is mentioned in the story, and the order of the symbols matches the order of that image throughout the story. So again, another kind of impossible prediction. Next, we have Big Blind ESP by John Morton. So this first phase, a participant shuffles up the cards. There's 5 cards, and then the cards are spread out face down. The performer then brings out 5 coins, each with a corresponding symbol drawn on each coin. The participant is then instructed through intuition to place a coin beside each card, trying to match. From there, you genuinely see how they did. Chances are they didn't do that good. If they get all 5, then the trick's over. That's not what's supposed to happen, but that would be really good. So you would end it there. Chances are they get a couple, right? The next phase, they mix up the cards again, but this time, instead of using intuition, they're going to look at each card. Then they're going to take a coin, and they're going to decide whether or not they're going to lie or tell the truth. So if this is a cat, tree, house, they might take the coin, the cat coin, and if they place it on the cat, they're telling the truth. They might take the next coin and lie, right? Ultimately, they do this with the 5 cards, and then the performer has to read them and tell whether or not they put down the correct coin or if they lied. From there, the performer takes the other deck and places down the cards, ultimately matching their cards, whether or not they told the truth or lied. Next, we have a routine called The Power of 3 by David Peace. So the first phase here, the performer simply has them think of an image and divines it. Next, the performer talks about remote viewing, has the participant pick 3 cards without seeing what they are and place them into different pockets. From there, the performer takes out a pendulum. You don't have to do this, but places it in front of them, to the left, to the right, and then divines each card. And finally, for the last phase, all the cards are gathered up, and through a series of placing these cards in a random order, the performer tells the participant to either deal or switch cards, place them down. And then when you spread out the cards all match the order of the crib card. So nice 3-phase routine there. The next routine is called Symbolink by Luke Closer. So what happens here is the cards are shuffled. After they're shuffled, the performer turns around. From there, the participant eliminates every card except one in a really fair manner, looks at the card, places it back into the deck, shuffles it up, sets the cards off to the side. From there, the performer then turns around, never handles the cards, hasn't seen anything, but divines their symbol every time. Next, we have Reverse Thinking by Chris Rollins. So this one is another sight unseen type effect. So the cards are shuffled, and then under the table, the performer spreads the cards. The participant takes out a card, looks at it, places it back into the deck. They're given the cards to shuffle. They're placed down. Performer has them think of their card, grabs the deck, spreads through, and is able to take out the card that they're thinking of. So it seems very hands-off to the participant, and there's no way that you could have seen the card because everything was done out of sight. Next, we have a routine called Stacked Prediction by Caleb Wade. So in this one, the participant deals down 2 piles of cards. They then select which pile they want to use. After that, they cut the cards and look at the card they cut to. From there, they've got a card that they're thinking of. The performer then asks what card they're thinking of or what image they're thinking of, and after they say what it is, the performer reveals that that was actually predicted in advance, as that is the only card in an envelope that the participant's been holding the entire time. Next, we have a routine called Tri-Sense by Alexander Marsh. So this uses 3 participants. You could do it with 1 and just have them select 3 different cards, but it does work better with 3, I think. So each participant is going to get a pile of cards that they can mix up, and then they're all going to end up on a certain card, each of them. They're going to look at that card, and the cards are set off to the side. The performer then asks them each what image they're thinking of. So I think in the performance video, they're thinking of, one's thinking of a cat, one's thinking of a tree, and one's thinking of a sun. I guess before asking them what they're thinking of, the performer says, instead of just reading each one of you, I want to try to do this as a whole. I want to get a bigger picture that accompanies each image that you're thinking of. So one person says they're thinking of a cat, the other says they're thinking of a tree, and then the last person says they're thinking of a sun. From there, the performer brings out a piece of paper, unfolds it, and it's a picture of those 3 symbols all in the same image. Next, we have a routine called 21st CC by Mark Elsden. With this one, it is a hands-off prediction. So the participant ends up on an image, and it is revealed to them that in advance, you have emailed yourself a picture of something that matches that image. Next, we have a routine called Symbolic Choice by David Jonathan. So this one starts by the performer opening up their notes app and jotting something down. That's then placed face down. From there, the participant mixes up the cards and deals them into 2 piles. After that's done, both piles, the top card is turned over, and they make a choice whether or not they're going to keep this one and leave this one, or keep this one and leave this one. Whatever one they select, from there, you show them on your notes app that it says they would keep the one that they did and the other one would be left behind. Now I should mention, this is iOS only. Next, we have a routine called Noted Thought by Jack Keane. This one is slightly similar to the last one as it uses your phone as well. So this one, you say that you're going to draw an image, you do that and place it face down. From there, there's a very fair process of elimination. The performer tells a participant to turn the cards face up and give them a wash so that they're all mixed up. Then you have a whole bunch of face up cards here. The performer also says, I want you to silently, amongst yourselves, remove cards so that we're only left with 1. So the reason the performer says silently is because they don't want to be influenced and tell you to remove certain cards or put a certain person on the spot and make them nervous and like they're just going to move the closest one to them. So silently, a number of people start eliminating cards till there's only 1 left. From there, the performer turns over the phone to show that the card that's left matches the image that they drew. Again, only for iOS. And finally, the last routine is called Haze by Caleb Wade and Adam Dadswell. From this one, 3 participants all make rounds of decisions that are extremely fair. After they've made these decisions, the cards are in a certain order. When spread out, the order matches the crib card. So I think what makes this one so strong is just how fair the decision-making process is amongst 3 people, and then the outcome is just incredible. After that, there are 3 quick bonus idea videos. The first one gives you a way to have it so that the participant can find their own symbol in a mixed deck. The second combines Caleb Wade's stacked prediction routine with Mark Paul's The Card Trick That Can't Be Explained routine. And finally, the last bonus idea is by Mason King, and it is a way to use the patio force in conjunction with Mark Paul's routine on the project. The last video is just a quick thank you video to everybody who purchased and had a part in this. So that wraps up the tutorial, and that pretty much wraps up the review. But we can't finish without talking about price, positives, and negatives. So what's the price, and is this worth your money? This is £45. Now, is it worth your money? Absolutely. For the amount of material and content that you get with this, there's something for everybody here. The cards too, if you have other routines that you do, like jazz mentalism or certain matching ESP effects, this will work with that. You get 8 different symbol cards, I guess 16 if you're using the black and the white. But if you just want to use 5 of those because you have traditional ESP routines, then you can do that. Finally, positives, negatives. The only negative that I have here, and if you know me, you probably expected it, was that I wish these cards were plastic. And that's just me. Anything to do with mentalism, where you're not handling the cards, doing sleight of hand, or any of that kind of stuff, I always prefer if the cards are plastic, it just tear-proof, bend-proof, waterproof. I like that, right? But these are good quality. They just won't withstand water. So be careful with them in certain environments and areas. If you're performing at a bar or at a restaurant where there could be a wet surface, just watch with that. Aside from that, I have absolutely nothing else that is negative here, because there is so much that you can do with these cards, from the way that they're designed, the markings, other ways that you can use these cards without the markings, the peak pouch, and then the load of content that you get from a number of different creative minds. This is an amazing project, and I highly, highly recommend it. So with that, we're going to wrap things up, because I know going over all the routines will make this a lengthy review, but I think it is worth mentioning just because there is something for everybody here. So with that, thank you, Adam, for sending me this to review. I hope I've covered everything. I'll leave a link in the description below. Go check this out. And with that, we'll see you at the next review.